Hi everyone and welcome to a new weekly reading vlog. As I record this, it is Saturday the 16th of October and I'm in Birmingham because me and my mum are going to see Erasure, who are a band that my mum used to love when she was at uni, and she took me to university with her. And I remember dancing around the student halls with her. I think I would have been about 3 and would have been about like, I don't know, 18, 19. We're going to go and see them. I've always said that I will take mum at some point to see them. Tonight is the night. There'll be more footage of that later. On the train, you'll have seen, although the proof edition, not this one, I have started Leave the World Behind by Rumaan, which is the latest choice for me and Melanie's Frank book club. So yeah, it's setting the scene. It's about a family. I thought it was just a couple, but it's a family of 4 who have gone to an Airbnb in the middle of nowhere, and we've got to the point where they're kind of just getting to the swing of it, and there's a knock on the door. Nobody knows they're there. So who could it be? I'll find out when I read more of that later. But yeah, so far very much enjoying it. I've heard it gets really, really creepy. So we'll see how I get on. But yeah, that's the plan. Mum and I have had some lovely dinner. We're now about to get changed and get ready. She's in another room 4 floors down. And yeah, tomorrow we're going to be seeing my little sister Min. But before all of that, gonna get changed and then it's time for Erasure. I'm really excited. I have not been to a concert in ages because obviously the Panda Pop. So this will be really, 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 really good. I'm so in love with you. I'll be forever blue. Tell me why you get hard and hard before you make me go stop. Morning everyone, it's Sunday the 17th of October. I'm aware, I don't know if it's because my mum told me that I'm going really grey yesterday, nice of her, but I do feel like I am looking much more grey. Anyway, I suppose I'm heading to 40 next year, so, but anyway, moving on. Erasure were amazing last night, like brilliant. Andy Bell's voice was just phenomenal. Me and mum danced, we sang, we laughed, we got very emotional at the end. People were really, really respectful about space though, and we were in the standing area and everyone was letting there be space around them. So that was really, really good. You'll have seen some of that. Yeah, just a wonderful trip down memory lane, but also really nice to be out and about, something celebratory and joyous, frankly. Then this morning I have read more of Leave the World Behind. I left you at a point where I was on tenterhooks, frankly, because this family have gone away to this Airbnb. There's a knock on the door. Who is it? And it turns out it is an elderly black couple who say they own the house, and something happened after they went to an event and they came there to seek sort of almost sanctuary. It's all very odd, and like they're offering to pay, but it's like, why didn't you go to a hotel? So yeah, that's where we're at. What I'm finding really fascinating with this book so far is how it interweaves perceptions and prejudices, I guess. How there's stuff around class and what people assume. So there's been comments about like other family holidays that the kids' friends are going on. There's been sort of comments on the house they're staying in and what they could afford. There's been, little moments like that. But also now there's like little bits about race and also stereotypes around women and men and how they react to shock. That's been quite fascinating. So yeah, lots going on in this. I'm actually giving this copy to my mother because I think she will love it. I'm reading the proof, which is in my bag. I need to go now because me and mum are meeting downstairs for a coffee, and then we're off to go and have lunch with my sister, and then I'm planning on going to Lush for the first time in months and doing some serious damage on their Halloween themed bath bomb and other bathing delights. Morning everyone, it's Monday the 18th of October. Me and Millie are having a cuddle in bed, aren't we, Millie? It's about 11:30. I've had the worst night's sleep. I had such bad night sweats, I had to sleep with a towel. I mean, imagine, seriously, what a glorious image that is. So I think going to get up shortly, need to eat actually, and then probably read all afternoon, because I'm off today because it's Mondays. I was going to film some stuff, but I'm just not because I feel like crap, and also because I'm trying to take Mondays off, like off. And yeah, there was talk of going to see Venom tonight, but I might say I feel this evening. But yeah, awful night's sleep. There's nothing worse than having a rubbish night's sleep, is there? Blech. Hey everyone, it is Wednesday, the 20th of October. I haven't filmed very much because on Monday and yesterday I was just feeling rough as rough. I've got some sort of nosy, throaty, I think basically it's a cold, but we've all forgotten what colds are in the last year and a bit, haven't we? So yeah, there we go. It's definitely not COVID. I've done 2 tests and yeah, so we will keep our eyes on it though. Anyway, I thought, as I hadn't chatted with you, because I was just basically reserving my energies to do a live with Mum yesterday for our autumn book hibernation announcement video, where we have picked The Wolf Den by Elodie Harper as our group read. And for those of you who are wondering what on earth is book hibernation, it is a quarterly sort of read-along-a-thon where we put out some prompts. You pick books off your shelves to match them, you read them, you can join in with a group read with me and my mum if you like, and yeah, we all have a lovely time. The prompts were picked by lots of your suggestions. I've got them all in a different order now, but yeah, I will go through them with you right now. So first of all, there is read a book with an orange cover, which Gemma, one of my patrons, suggested. Then we have books featuring woods on the cover or set in the woods, the more remote the better, which currently reading 4 picked on my Instagram, different colours you see. Then we had, from my patrons in the dark red, a book that references or riffs on a myth or legend. Linda Taylor picked that one. And then this was a very popular one, a cosy read, bookishly owlish, Ultrious Living and Mr. Late Edwards suggested this one on Instagram. And then last but not least, in fact it's not last at all, but last of the basic prompts is read a book with fall in the title, which was suggested by Paula A from my patrons. And we decided that you could also do fallen or falling, but not fell. So yeah, we have that. And then the 2 extra prompts are 1, a book with bonfires, fireworks, or fire on the cover or as part of the story. That was my mum's pick. And my pick was something non-fiction, because it's non-fiction November and it's running from October the 29th until the 13th of November, if I didn't say that. And then the final prompt was one that Cindy, one of my patrons, had picked, which was to find a book with a jumper on the cover. And I thought that was really hard, but as I love jumpers, you all know I love a jumper, I thought it'd be good if you share on Instagram a picture of you in your favourite autumnal jumper reading in your favourite autumnal book nook, one of those books. So there we go. Anyway, before I share some parcels with you, because I was thinking this could be low on content as after losing 2 days of me just being in bed feeling rough, I actually was working from my bed yesterday in the afternoon, which was quite tragic. Before I open those parcels, I am about almost like halfway through Leave the World Behind by Rumaan. This is the proof. This is the final edition. I'm really enjoying it. So I think I told you that it's about a family who are going to stay in Airbnb, and then one night this couple turn up who own the house that they're renting it from, or do they? There's a few questions around, like, so everything's a little bit suspicious. And we're just sort of, it's the morning after when the couple who are hiring the place have let them stay over, and it's sort of that awkward morning after where everyone's trying to suss out what's going on. Also, sorry, that was my laptop rude beeping away. But also sort of there's tensions in the place, but also like what has happened, what's this sort of blackout that's happened with all the electrics and everything going in New York, and also why has the daughter of the family, when she's gone outside, seen not 1 deer, not 2 deer, not 3, like hundreds of deers, and she's keeping it a secret. But what on earth is going on? I am gripped, and I'm on a train for a few hours later to go to London, and I'll be reading that on there. I've also got to do an interview for a magazine, which I'm very excited about later. Anyway, right, open these 3 parcels that just arrived very quickly. We have Parallel Hells by Leon Craig. This is out in February, and I think these are meant to be short stories. I think they're all gothic and eerie and creepy. That would work very well, actually, for round about now. So I could get reading some 2020 fiction in advance. So that's exciting. What's in this one? Let's find out. It is I Live a Life Like Yours, a memoir by Jan Crew. I begin to write because I need a different language than the one I was offered. I can't remember what this is about. I think it's about... Jan Crew had just become a father when he inherited a stack of his childhood medical records. Following a diagnosis of spinal muscular atrophy at the age of 3, the raft of doctor's notes, clinical descriptions and case histories defined his body as defective and his future as bleak and limited. They conjured a childhood nothing like the one he remembered that failed to anticipate the life he lived now. Gosh, this sounds really, really interesting. So, yeah, there we go. And last but not least, from this little mini haul that arrived today, we have M and Me by Beth Morley. What did Beth Morley write? I feel like... What was the Saving Missy? I feel like I might have met Beth the other day at Book Bar, where me and Melanie were being booksellers. I think it was Beth. So that's turned up how lovely. So there we go. That's a little bit of an update. I need to crack on with more work before I get the train later to London. I've got this interview, like I said, with a bookish magazine. I want to say it's called Oh Readerly, but I don't think that's quite right. I've got that, and then I'm just going to have a really chilled night in the hotel before book club tomorrow morning in my office for my day job in the afternoon, and then on Friday is the finale of my BBC Novels That Shaped Our World Libraries programme. So there's probably going to be quite a few mixed emotions going on there, and also all the stress of organising a massive event in the British Library. So there we are. Update. I'll speak to you all later. Hi everyone, I am now in the hotel. I've worked all the way down here on the train. Lots and lots of stuff to do because tomorrow is the announcement of the project that I'm working on that's been a secret squirrel, and you'll all know by now. What's going on here? Got a little dimple there. Anyway, I've been doing lots of frowning. Don't know. Anyway, moving on. So, yeah, I've been doing that. Got to the hotel. I'm going to be doing a interview with a magazine in New York called O Reader, which I'm really excited about. I'm looking forward to that. Then I think I'm going to take myself out for some pizza and then head back and finish Leave the World Behind. I didn't read any of it on the train because I was so busy working, but I'm going to settle down with it, have an early night with it, probably scare myself silly with it because it is quite creepy. And yeah, I'll report back in the morning, although I won't tell you too much because obviously I want you to watch me and Melanie's book club. Morning everyone, it's Thursday the 31st, morning everyone, it's Thursday the 21st of September. I am outside my hotel waiting for a cab to go and meet Melanie at the Atlantis bookshop where there used to be a coven, I think there is still a coven maybe, anyway, to film book club. I finished Leave the World Behind last night. What a book, so many thoughts, so many things I want to say, not going to say them here though because you need to go and watch the video. But they also talk about how it's vacation sex versus home sex.
Yeah, that's probably why I didn't think it was very sexy. Because I don't differentiate between vacation sex and sex is just sex, isn't it?
I don't know.
Maybe for married people with children, but I've been a married person with children.
Well, now I'm worried because I am married and my husband always says 5-star hotel. Sorry, Chris, if you see this. So I filmed with Melanie. I'm now in my office, all by myself. I'm going to head back in a little bit. I've had a big meeting, got things ready for it's my novels, BBC Novels That Shaped Our World Libraries finale tomorrow. I can't believe it. I've got to give a speech at the end at the British Library, and it's being streamed to a live audience and all sorts. Anyway, that is tomorrow. I'm also interviewing Gino Dawson on stage and also some of the libraries, so that'll be good. But before I leave here, I thought I would show you the view because it's gorgeous. Hi everyone, I'm back from going to see Matty May's incredible one-man show, If You Love Me, This Might Hurt. This is the script, which, if you can't get to it, it's on until the 30th of October. Please, please, please buy this. I will say trigger warnings, it's about suicide, and it's something that I've talked about on socials, that has been something that I've been through, and I just found this whole show so powerful, so brilliant, so frank, so honest, so raw, so open. I've been a huge fan of Matty May on Instagram for ages, so much so I was too shy to say hello afterwards. Yeah, this was just phenomenal, and I admire and adore him. And if you can't go and see it, read it. I think it's so powerful. Yeah, I'm now going to eat at McDonald's in bed because that's what I deserve. But I will chat to you in the morning because I'm going to start another book. But actually, what I might do is read this before I go to sleep. Yeah, anyway, mind blown. Morning everyone, it is Friday the 22nd of October, and today is it's the finale of the BBC Novels That Shaped Our World Libraries programme, which was the project that I have been project managing for the last 20 months. It's only meant to be a year, but obviously pandemic, and I think I'm going to be a mess by the end of it. This project's meant a huge amount to me because I love libraries so much. I was just doing the bullet points for my speech because I don't like doing major notes. I just do bullet points and then waffle, as you're well aware from watching this. And I cried, so who knows how this is going to go. It's all going to be streamed, or have been streamed. So maybe that'll have been caught on camera, and maybe we'll get the files later. But yeah, I'm just very emotional about it. Even though, like, I've got another job and I'm going to still be doing some stuff with novels as a legacy piece, but I think it's saying goodbye to something that basically kept me going, along with this channel and all of you lovely lot, during shielding and the pandemic overall. So yeah, anyway, I need to go meet my colleagues, pull myself together first, go meet my colleagues, and get on with that. I'm really excited though, because Monique Rafe is going to be there, Juno Dawson's going to be there, my assistant Tess is going to be there. It's going to be lovely, lots of lovely people and lots of lovely librarians. Blah blah blah. I'm waffling because I'm nervous and I don't want to go, but I need to go. Bye.
I hate to say, but so much has been written about these two books and how they're linked, and the genius of Reese's critique of Jane Eyre. Is anyone following what I'm saying? Yeah. So I love both books, and I have complicated feelings about both books.
Hi everyone, it's Saturday the 23rd of October, and I was sitting down to sort out some stuff on my desk and thought I'd have a chat with you all. Actually, I haven't shared with you two books that I bought from, before I do all of that, actually, I will say, I didn't get much footage from yesterday because I was kind of lost in the whirlwind of the Novels That Shaped Our World finale. I was very emotional because, you know, it was the culmination of 2 years of work, pretty much, almost 2 years of work, and it was a project that I wanted to get involved in because of the amazing creativity and everything that libraries had put forward as their responses to how they could do events around the list of 100 novels that shaped our world from the BBC. And I had the finale speech. I was very, very tense about that, in the fact that, you know, I wanted to shout out on behalf of all the partners who'd taken part, also all of the libraries, and how adaptable, how creative, how flexible, how determined and just incredible they all were. Whilst also on a personal level, that project, I think, helped me get through shielding and isolating, and without it I might have been in a very, very, very different situation. My mental health certainly would have suffered a lot more. So yeah, those libraries, those events that were forced, like the potential and the possibility and everything that kept on going through, plus the humour and warmth and joy of all the librarians I was working with, really, really kept me going. So it was a very emotional day, which is why, annoyingly, I forgot to film with Monique Rafe, who was there, and Juno Dawson, who was there. I adore both of them, and I would have loved to have had them on the channel, and I'm annoyed with myself for not doing so. But I will get the authors that I'm seeing in the week coming Armistead Morpan and Bernardine and Evaristo. I mean, wow, hopefully to be on the channel, so that will be really, really cool. And also, actually, it's Strictly tonight, and I'm going to be doing something with Claudia Winkleman and my mother in a few weeks. I'll try and get her too. Actually, one thing I think I should do is try and get some vox pops of the books that people want to give for Christmas for everyone that I see now in the lead up to the end of the year, or to Christmas, that would make sense. And then in the lead up to the end of the year, everyone I see and ask them sort of what their favourite books of the year are, maybe, and do some sort of like real vox poppy videos on those two things. Would you like to see that? I have considered Vlogmas. That's all I'm going to say for now. I've given it some consideration. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. One thing I have been thinking about though is, since my new job got announced the other day, and I'm going to do a video on that in the coming days. I just feel like I need to kind of catch up with myself because the last few weeks have been a bit bonkers busy. But one thing I really need to start thinking about is, because I'm going to be travelling so much from now until Christmas, and then so much next year, both in the spring, and then literally for 3 months, I think 3 trips home, I'm going to need to work out what I film when I'm not in this room and when I don't have my books with me all the time. So any ideas for that, if you get this far, let me know. Put a gold star next to it, and maybe I'll put you all into a hat or into a mug or something and pick out some winners for some little thank you gifts, because I'm going to really, really, really need some thoughts on that one. Anyway, once the novels finale was done, me and my assistant Tess went out for dinner, just us two. I just wanted to really celebrate what we'd done. It was also kind of, well, the irony is, we thought we were going to be finishing working together, but we're now not, because there might be some legacy coming from this project, which means that I'll be doing possibly 1 day a week on it until March maybe, and then I've got my new job, which I'll be doing 2 days a week until sort of January, February, and then I got 3 days and then 4 days during the summer. So yeah, but after that we went to Foyles, and I got her a copy of this because, well, you'll find out what I thought about it on Book Club with Melanie on the Frank magazine YouTube page, which I'll link down below if I remember. And I bought myself Just the Plague, because I'd heard people talking about it just that day, by Ludmila Ulitskaya. And this is about, it's set in the 1930s, it's based on a true story during Stalin's reign of terror. And it's about a man who was trying to cure the bubonic plague, but actually was sending it around the country and starting it. So yeah, that's really, really kind of one that I want to get to soon. And then I'm so excited for this. This is the haunting season, Ghostly Tales for Long Winter Nights, and it's got short stories in it by Elizabeth McNeil, Kieran Millward Hargrave and Jess Kidd, and I adore all 3 of those authors, so that's worth the cover price alone. Also, I loved Imogen Holmes Gower's debut, The Murder of Mrs. Hancock. She's got one in here, and I really liked Laura Purcell, but I need to read, I think, her earlier books, because the one that I read might not have necessarily been her best. But I also really like Andrew Michael Hurley, and he's in this one too. I've not read anything by Natasha Pulley, and I'm not mentioning the other one because I believe they're a turf. So there we go. So that's what happened yesterday. Today is going to be a really chill day. Chris is off. And I think we're just going to go around some charity shops. Going to go out for breakfast shortly in a new restaurant that I've discovered, and maybe I'll give you some snapshots of that. And yeah, see what we can find in charity shops. Maybe go and do a big shop. I always find though, with the big supermarket shop, I come back with loads of stuff that I just don't need. I'm dreadful for that. I don't know if you're the same, but how exciting that it's now jumper weather. That's what I'm really, really excited about. Hi everyone, I'm back from the shops. Like a jungle in here now, because I went crazy on some plants. I did get, oh, let's move that leaf slightly out of the way. I did get some cacti that you'll have seen, and I thought actually I was going to end the vlog earlier before we went out for breakfast and went off shopping. But then I thought, no, I can't not show you the stuff I haul, because at the supermarket I got the 2 cacti that I mentioned, plus this, I don't know what it's called, but I love it. It's like got splattered leaves, like they've been painted, which I think is amazing. Then you've got this, which just makes me feel like it's flames. Like, how beautiful is this? And before anyone says anything, the cats are not interested in plants at all, so we don't have any fear of them around them. They don't like chewing them, they don't even really go near them. That's why I've got so many cacti and stuff around the house. Anyway, and this one, which, these leaves don't look real. I don't know how nature does that, where it makes it look like they've been painted on, but they're just amazing. So, got all of those. Very thrilled with those. I've just made my desk incredibly dirty. And then in the charity shops, I got not one. Hang on, I'm trying to knock anything on the floor. Not one cashmere jumper, which cashmere is really expensive, and it is grey, but it's going to be really cosy. I got not one cashmere jumper, but just throwing it on the floor. Two, and I love this because it's ribbed for my pleasure. This one here, which I think is going to be gorge. Yeah, they were $5. Well, it was tenner for the two of them. One was $6, one was $4. I also got some books, and actually, we need to do a wrap up on some books shortly. So maybe I'll come to those. No, I'll do those now. I got Betty in paperback by Tiffany McDaniel, which I've wanted to read for ages. I have the proof actually on my shelves, but I really like the paperback cover, so I wanted that one. And then I got a paperback edition of Troy by Stephen Fry. Now I have the hardback, but I'd quite like this to cart around as I sort of dip in and out of it. So that's what I'm going to do. So that was exciting. Oh, and one that I hadn't heard of before, An Unsafe Haven by Nada Awar Jarrar. And this is all about Beirut and what it's like to grow up there. And it's kind of about the Lebanon, Syrian artists, immigrants from Iraq, refugees, and everyone kind of dreaming of life in the West. So I thought that sounded quite interesting. Hadn't heard of it at all. So there we go. I also got, before I talk about books in terms of what else I've been reading, this jug, which I love. It's got loads of different flowers and stuff on it, and nice jugs. I saw it and I thought I really, really like that. The only thing I'm good about is I don't think it's got a tulip on it, but it's from Derbyshire, where I'm from, so that's lovely. And it does have peonies on it, which Chris has tattooed all over his shoulder, so that's really nice. So yeah, now, one thing that I realised I didn't talk about earlier, that I started on the train and have almost finished and will finish today, is The Dark Remains, not His Dark Remains, The Dark Remains by William McIlvanney and Ian Rankin, which is a book that Ian Rankin wrote based on an idea William McIlvanney had before he died about Laidlaw, who I think there is a trilogy of books about that are very famous. Now, I really like Ian Rankin's Rebus novels, and I haven't headed to them for years because, well, I don't know why actually, there's no reason for it. But when I do, I know I'm going to really, really enjoy the read. This, however, it's all about Glasgow gangs in the 1970s, and it's just the sort of thing that doesn't really interest me massively anyway. I did like the fact that Laidlaw has almost sort of psychic abilities with crime solving, but it felt a bit like stuff I'd read before. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. Hopefully I won't get fired from Sky for saying that. That said, what I have been listening to on audio all week, and I haven't told you, and I'm really, really naughty, but it's because I've been waylaid with other things, is Black and Blue by Parm Sandhu, who was the former Chief and Superintendent of the Metropolitan Police. And it's one woman's story of policing and prejudice. And not only is it about racism in the police force that she witnessed and was, she was at the end of, it's about her life, how she was in an arranged marriage, how that went. There's a bit that I love, which is about her working on a pirate radio and almost getting arrested and then being in the police later in her life. Listening to her tell this on audio is incredibly moving. It's quite hard to listen to in parts, but I think a really powerful and important book. And I started watching the other night in my hotel room Murder Island, which she is one of the police on, and it's basically spookily, considering these are both Sky Arts Book Club picks, it's a story, murder mystery, written by Ian Rankin that these average everyday folk, ordinary people, go out on an island to go and try and be detectives, and Parm is one of the kind of ones kind of helping them and watching over them, although she's quite fierce with them. She wasn't fierce when I met her. Anyway, so that's that. I just thought I would round everything off with all of that kind of malarkey. If you've got this far, well done. Leave me an emoji of a plant on it. In fact, telling let's bring them all in so that nobody feels left out. And I will see you in another video on here soon, over on my Patreon or over on the Sky Arts Book Club. Bye! Can you see me?